Well, hello again and welcome here at the Garcast IRL. I know it's been a minute. It's been one hell of a hot minute. However, we have surpassed Lightfall. It has finally dropped for us. But, of course, allow me to introduce myself to you. My name is Armalite. I am your humble host and hunter main. And welcome to my show. And if you happen to just find yourself checking out my channel, checking out all the other pretty things I like to do, I've been kind of delving into the whole little bit of live streaming when it comes to Destiny. Mainly just, playing with the boys, come up with something cool to do. So, like as of recent, we've been playing tag in a private PvP match, which is a lot of fun. It really is. Definitely check out the last one. It was really, really good. I guarantee it. You're gonna like it. Now, I know this is probably not the kind of the setup that you're kind of used to. I usually have different lights and I look kind of funky, but I need a haircut too. Jesus Christ. But anyways, I have a new setup coming this week. So a lot of this is going to change. A lot of what you see here. So be sure to stick around for that. And first, before we get into tonight's entertainment, please do me a favor, hit the like button, hit the share, subscribe button. My goal is to try to get to 100 subscribers here pretty soon, and I look forward to doing it, but only sub if you feel like I've earned it, obviously. So, but anyways, enough shilling. Let's get into tonight's shenanigans. Tonight is episode number 98, and we're going to be talking about the whole Lightfall drama, which is it's been quite interesting here as of late. So, of course, one of my head places I like to go to. I'll go here to Let's see. I actually want to go all the way back on the 28th. Let's see. Try to find We've had a hell of a lot going on, that's for sure. If you're not aware, there has been so much drama when it came to Lightfall. It's not even funny. It's actually quite sad. But hey, that's the Destiny 2 community for you. And let's see. This might be a good somewhere. I'm actually really want to try to find basically when Lightfall first dropped. What would be the first? It would most likely be this one. Let's see. To be honest, that's let's go back. Let's see if we can. I know I should have already had this all set up, but trying to get back into the groove. Let's see. I think the best course of action is we'll do this. We'll just go ahead and I'll just kind of go over everything off the top of my head, if that's gonna make any look of sense. Switch. Okay. So anyways, Lightfall came, saw, and conquered. Well, not for everybody, unfortunately. For a lot of folks, it seems, or at least for majority of the loudest of those among us, were very disappointed when it came to Lightfall's storytelling. And a lot of the examples is that Nimbus was cringe. It was kind of awkward, if anything, and nobody knows what the veil is. It's kind of throwing everybody off, and they just didn't feel like the storytelling was there. So I'm the kind of person that I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna have my own opinion. I'm not gonna try to sit here and follow, the hottest YouTuber or content creator of some sort and do what he does or she does and try to claim, oh, I don't like this because they don't like it. I actually will have my own opinion, and my own opinion is I don't understand. Everybody else seemed to catch what happened. So if you haven't played Lightfall, leave. Okay, this is the only time I would don't listen. All right, this is not the stream for you if you don't want any spoilers, because I'm about to spoil the shit out of this. It's been a week. I figure I'll kind of dive into it. So here's your warning. If you haven't gone by this point, that's on you. So anyways, okay, so yeah, there were some certain aspects. I feel like a lot of people were kind of nitpicking just a little bit, but some things I could kind of see where they're coming from. But I guess kind of going off of what I saw or how I experienced the story. We went in and started right off the bat an outright war between the darkness, or at least the witness and his army. So starts off with that, and we have to make our way onto Callus's ship, and he's on his way to Neomuna, because there's something there that the witness wants. Well, instead of really to try to make a long story short, instead of going like piece by piece, because if you've already played it, you already know what happened. But once we get, like, I felt like I experienced a completely different story than what everybody else is experiencing. Either that, or people are just trying to come up with reasons to be pissed off about for God knows what. So at the end, after everything was said and done, I just realized at the point of where the witness took a hold of our ghost and was using our ghost to make a link to the traveler, because that's what he needed. He needed the veil. Nobody knows what the veil is, but it's something that the witness needed a link to be able to get to the traveler, or to do whatever it is that he needed to do to the traveler or whatever. So I got at the very end, I just thought the witness is playing 4D chess here. The shit ain't checkers. This shit's chess right now. That motherfucker just used us. We got played. We got played by the end of it. Out of everything that we did. Hell, the whole fact, like I even got it into my mind that I think that Witness was expecting us to kill Callus. Like I said, shit ton of spoilers. So if you're still here, don't get mad. But I'm telling you, the Witness played us. He played us like a fucking fiddle. By the time we got to the end, he knew that we would be able to destroy Callus. He got what he needed out of Callus. And then we got rid of him for the Witness. Which was kind of, I guess you could say, would be inevitable. But at the same time, like literally we brought him the one thing that the Witness needed, and it was our ghost, in order to create that link. He played us like all the way through. And I don't know, but that's how I took it. Everybody else is like, I'm so confused. I have more questions than answered. It's like, okay. The way I see it, a lot of people, and plus, and on another thing, a lot of people are jumping on this hype train to try to convince people that they're, I don't know, it just seems like everybody is a story writing expert all of a sudden. Like they know what they would know better. Now, I know that there are some people that are, you know, they kind of have an idea of what they're talking about, but I honestly don't think that. I mean, whenever you try to ask somebody, they're just like, oh, I didn't like it. Well, why didn't you like it? Oh, no. Or it was empty. Well, what makes you think that it was empty? Well, they don't really have much of an answer to be able to, you know, to go with what it is that they feel like. So basically, you have your elitists at the very top that will critique and criticize every blade of grass that's within the game. Hey, that's what you like to do, go for it. And don't let me stand in your way. And then you have the complainers at the very bottom, and everybody else kind of falls in between. For me, I enjoyed the story. I thought it was very well written. Nimbus had me laughing several times. Now, I could see like, okay, there were some aspects of Nimbus was kind of awkward, but then you kind of have to think, okay, well, not everybody after I can't even think of his name. The other Cloud Strider, Rogue, I believe it's Rogue. Okay, so he dies, and it feels so weird because it's like, okay, this was really dramatic. Why was it so dramatic? To the point of, they just kill him off right away. And you get a lot of people that will be like, oh, well, I seen that coming, you know, we seen that story written. No, okay, whatever. Of course you did. So, but anyways, when he dies, it's like, okay, so the narrative is not so much that really involves him, it's really Nimbus. And Nimbus is the character that, you know, he's like this teenage rookie who's always, you know, crazy on his top of his game or whatever, and just, you know, basically the greenhorn, right? And he's trying to learn the job, and you see that all the fucking time. People act like, oh my god, this is so strange. It's like, dude, have you not been out in the real world? Like, there are people like that all over the place. You know, you get these kids that come in onto a job, especially if you ever work like construction or something. Oh, it is big with the construction, and they're always the smart asses most of the time, especially whenever they start getting comfortable. But they're also the ones that fuck up all the time too, which is kind of funny. Which I guess I can still kind of consider myself falling into that category as well, because, you know, where I work at, I've only been there for like 6 years. But so Nimbus, it's really his story, right? Rolk is kind of like, you know, he's just kind of the, okay, well, he was at the end of his journey anyways, so let's force Nimbus to be able to take on the position and be quick about it. So okay, so Rolk, he's gone. Which I thought that was a very interesting way that they introduced that, where, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like people are not experiencing the same game like I played. I mean, I kind of wonder if everybody else played Lightfall the same way, the same Lightfall that I played. Because I'm like, okay, almost at every turn was nothing but failure. When it came to Strand, you know, it was like this process through the entire campaign, which people kind of got all up in arms about it, about how, oh, with Strand, it was like, it was too much. I couldn't use my OP loadout that works. So it was like, dude, it's a new subclass. I mean, they did the exact same thing with Stasis. Maybe not as heavy as it was for Stasis, but they did the exact same thing. It ain't nothing new. So, I mean, because we ended up using Stasis at certain points within the story during Beyond Light. So, we had Beyond Light, we had Stasis, did the same fucking thing. But when it comes to Strand, oh my god, everybody flipped the fuck out. It was like, okay. You can't please everybody, unfortunately. And it's just the name of the game. But for the most part, with Lightfall, I still don't think that we know everything just yet. Obviously, Bungie has already stated that they're trying new things, that they have this new look on how they want to tell a story, right? So they're going to tell us a story in a different way. And I feel like we just watched like the first few episodes of this season, and we don't know everything, so everybody's flipping the fuck out. It's like, bro, we have an entire year. I mean, does nobody else remember when building up to, ever since what, Shadowkeep, with all the seasons building up to like, oh, the darkness, it's coming, pyramids, you know, every season was telling a story leading up to that moment. From Shadowkeep to Beyond Light, we were being told a story, and then we got to Beyond Light, from Beyond Light to Beyond Light, Shadowkeep to Beyond Light to Witch Queen. And it was like everything from those two, it was still building up to Witch Queen. So we're being told a story from Beyond Light all the way up to Witch Queen. And then they tell us another story. Then they continue the story from Witch Queen all the way up to Lightfall. Which it was more of like, we just kind of spent most of that time kind of making alliances with many of these different, you know, characters. I was trying to be fancy with it, but we'll just say characters, with these different characters within the game, you know, with the Cabal, the Fallen, and yeah, Cabal, Fallen, that was about it. But anywho, we're being told a story as we gather our forces to be able to go up against the darkness or the witness, right? And now the witness is here and we lost in the first round, right? Which we don't know if whatever it is that he opens up within the Traveler, if it's like a portal to possibly the raid. That's probably where the raid's going to be. We'll find. Was that this week, I believe, at this Friday? So yeah, I mean, and now we're going from Lightfall all the way up to Final Shape, and we're going to be told a story, since everything was building up to this point, but now we got to tell the story from this point onto Final Shape. That's how I'm understanding it. I could be completely wrong, and I'm pretty sure there's some lore guy watching this right now, and he's like grinning his teeth, punching his screen, and telling me I'm a fucking dumbass. I guarantee you there's somebody, right? So anyways, I feel a lot of people are putting the cart before the horse, right? I feel like people are putting the cart before the horse, and they're not giving themselves the time to be able to, you know, soak in all the information. We don't know what the veil is, and that's one of the people's most concerns or their criticism is, what is the veil? We don't know. Even our Destiny 2 Lord Daddy himself, Bife, don't even know what the veil is. How can he explain it when he don't even know? Yet maybe that's something that's going to be explained throughout the remaining of the year, or at some point. So, like I said, I think a lot of people are just jumping the gun way too much. And then you have, now there are certain aspects of the game that I would find it's a little odd. I'm not sure how I feel about it. The whole ranking system now seems to be like a lot of people are 6s, you know, showing that they're veterans. They've been playing Destiny 2 for a long time. But I mean, I'm not really focused to trying to achieve 7. And if I get 7, that's probably going to be the highest I'll ever do. And I hear people are talking about that they're going to be resetting that whole thing. It's like, what? It's like only for a season or something. That's kind of strange. I think once you get to that certain level, you should remain there, and it should always be that way, not drop you back down and then you got to do all that crap again. I mean, once somebody gets to the very top, let them be up at the very top and let them stay there. Shit, I mean, there's a lot to do. So anyways, we have that going for us, and everything is so fresh and new. Strand itself, you know, you got already a ton of videos, people putting together builds. Hell, I even got one build that I put together I think a lot of people will really enjoy. Definitely will be presenting that here pretty soon, but I kind of want to get my environment here set up, which you'll be seeing that next week. And we're gonna it's gonna be completely different, trust me. And I can't wait, because I'm gonna be working on it Thursday after work. But once I get the whole setup, it's gonna be completely different. What you're seeing now is not gonna be what you see. But anyways, so Strand, it was actually a lot of fun, especially in the playing through the campaign. So I really enjoyed playing, you know, and it felt actually pretty good. Now there would be one thing I would tell you: this, those tormentors are a pain in my ass. Oh my god. Those tormentors are nuts, right? Like literally, I have found a cheese though, and I will tell you that cheese, if you haven't figured it out yet. But if you could find yourself one-on-one, like having a 1v1 between you and a tormentor, right? Let's say he's about to do his pounce, where he jumps up and he slams down on top of you, and then, you know, does a shit ton of damage. So what I found was, when you're caught up in that situation, use your grapple at that point where he's about to just leap. You'll see the cue, you'll see it, and as soon as as soon as you see that cue, you just grapple onto him or past him, and you'll just swap sides, turn around, do some DPS. He'll kind of walk up to you real slow, take a few steps, and then he'll just hunker down, and then you'll see him kind of glow, and then he'll jump up again, and then you just, you know, Spider-Man your ass on over to the other side, and just keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and he can't touch you if you do it right. But if you fuck it up, he will fuck you up. So just let that be known. They are hell to deal with when you have more than one, and they're beefy as fuck, and you can't really use your super against them. No, like, unless if you have a super that's like a set and forget, you know, silence and squall would work, maybe your tether. I think I've tried tether. But any roaming supers? No. No, man. You're fucked. I'm sorry, but you're done. You are done. So yeah, tormentors are awesome. I love them. They're just a pain in my ass, but I would love, like, I know some people, one of the things I would have loved to see is, I noticed that there were some of the like strikes that they have changed, or they've changed up a little bit, and where like you go a different route. You have the Shadow Legion that's, you know, coming in and all that shit, instead of just typical Cabal, which is really interesting. But I'm surprised they haven't placed any of the tormentors in certain areas. Now, if let's say Bungie is waiting for this to, once we get to the raid, and then that will start becoming a thing, that would be awesome. Since I have this thought, I kind of want to go over this thought real quick. Okay, so I've noticed that even with all this negativity, everybody flipping the fuck out, right? People from like IGN has given Lightfall a 5 out of 10 out of a complete rating. Well, one particular person, which, hey, you know, that is whatever, you know, everybody's got opinions apparently. And really, I don't base, I mean, it helps to kind of get an idea, but I really don't base my assumptions or my ideas or thoughts based off of IGN. Like, it's more of like, okay, they can kind of describe what it is that's going on with Beyond Light, or not Beyond Light, with a certain game. It doesn't have to be necessarily Destiny, but it can kind of, they can kind of explain it to me, and then I can make my own decision. And you know, they could give it a very low rating, but I end up loving it. And you know, that shit does happen. Not everybody, nobody, us humans don't have hive minds. We all think differently. So, and I guarantee you, there's going to be a lot of people out there that think the exact same way as I do. A lot of people that actually enjoyed the game. Probably don't even know half of the bullshit that's being said about Lightfall, and they're just like, who cares, you know? Ooh. Which, I mean, they got a point, you know, who really cares? So anyways, like I said, I feel like I feel like I played a completely different game than what everybody else did. And I don't know what that is, because at the end of it, everybody else is like, oh my god, I don't know what the fuck's going on. I have more questions than answers. What is this, Bungie? Why am I so confused? And I'm just like, am I the only one seeing this right now? Like, we just got fucking played like the whole fucking time. Like, are you serious? The Witness just played us, guys. Hello? Anybody else out there think this way? Like, literally, we just did his bidding and brought him the key to the Traveler. We fucked up. Like, hardcore. Like, you know, when we were told we just lost. You damn right we just fucking lost. And by the end of it, we did exactly what he wanted us to do. We brought the key to the Traveler, and we took care of Callus for him, all in one fell swoop. All he needed us to do was bring our ghost son over down to the Veil, and he got exactly what he wanted at the very end. And like I said, we just lost that round, and everybody's losing their shit. I was like, god damn, have y'all not lose before? Like, this is odd. I mean, we're always winning all the time in Destiny. It's actually kind of nice to see that we lose for once. Like, damn, we didn't stop the Witness. We fucked up. He played us. We got played, people. But everybody's stuck on this. What the Veil is? What's the Veil? I'm sure somebody's gonna figure it out. Or Bungie's gonna tell it to us in the story. I mean, shit, we're only in week 1. We still got next week. But hey, you know, people are going to do whatever they do. People are going to complain, going to cry, they're going to whine. But in my opinion, I enjoyed it, and I know, like, some people were talking about how people think that if they would actually recommend this to a friend of theirs, and it's like, well, no, I don't know how well it would be for a new player experience. Like, at this point, it would be highly costly, and I don't know. I mean, Destiny's been going on for a very long time, and a lot of the times when you get into a game that's been out for years like Destiny has, it's kind of hard to try to convince somebody to come in, you know, and be able to shell out that much money in order to you know, to be able to play the game. Now, of course, you know, Bungie has made it to where it was a lot easier, but you know, basically making the base game or base part of it open freely, but it's more of like, hey, come try it out, see if you like it. If you're feeling the space magic, come check us out. And it won't cost you anything, just to kind of put your foot in the door, which is kind of nice that they did that. The way I understand it, the whole new player experience is kind of meh and all over the place. But I don't know. I mean, at this point, everybody's hooting and hollering and screaming about wanting Destiny 3. And it's like, okay. But, and I'm sitting over here still screaming, we need to have in-game chat with those who are matchmaking. Open that shit up. Come on, Bungie. Let us talk to each other. Now, here's another thought that I had in my head when it comes to this whole negativity. I feel like, well, for a lot of people, if it bleeds, it fucking leads. You know, let's not fucking kid ourselves. If you're going to sit here talking about how bad it is, it doesn't matter what it is, you know, no, you're going to get the views, you're going to get the reactions, you know, regardless if they're good or bad. And what I kind of wonder is like, here's a little ploy, like all these people are in on it, right? Or at least the top people, because a lot of their community would actually agree with him. You know, Astrocross is in on it, IGN is in on it, and like something's going to happen that's going to blow it out of the fucking water. Like they're bringing Lightfall down to a certain level just so it can spring load itself up. That would be fucking weird. But there's some tinfoil hat ideas for you there. So, all right. Let me kind of there's nothing worse than being a PvP main when a new Destiny 2 expansion comes out. All this excitement and new content for you to be left with pretty much nothing of substance. Now, before I get the Destiny 2 is a PvE game comments, let me say this. In my eyes, it has always been a hybrid of the two systems. One has never existed without the other, and while yes, there are often balancing problems, that doesn't mean one should suffer with the lack of new content. PvP desperately needs love again. In D1, I mean, yeah, Destiny 2 has never been just a PvE game. I mean, he's correct on that. But wasn't it in D1 that they didn't even have PvP at launch? I could be misremembering that completely, so I apologize if that's not the case. Let's see. So next week on the FPS podcast, we'll be interviewing Joe Blackburn, Destiny 2 game director. Other than what is the Veil, what questions might you have for him? Bonus points for non-Destiny specific questions, since a lot of our audience aren't level 6 veterans. What was the thought process behind the choice to not include key context to the understanding the narrative presented in Lightfall, and instead move that context to seasons that will be removed in a year, leaving the narrative of Lightfall a confused mess for future players? That's a good point. I mean, but they've been doing that this whole time though, right? Like the whole, hey, we've allied ourselves with the Cabal and the Fallen. Like, what's up with that? We're not seeing that really in the, I mean, I guess like mainly in lore, really, right? It was basically within the lore tabs. So that's not necessarily correct. And okay, here, let me try this out. Let me try this one more time. Okay, what was the thought process behind the choice to not include key context to the understanding the narrative presented in Lightfall, and instead move the context to seasons that will be removed in a year, leaving the narrative of Lightfall a confused mess for future players? So later on down the line, let's say 3 years down the road, we're no longer playing Destiny 2. We are playing whatever else, you know, Destiny 3 maybe. Maybe it would even be called Destiny. We don't know. But you know, we're gonna worry about the context for a lot of like these small minute things, which I'm pretty sure is going to be explained in a certain way, but it's just not told within a DLC. Like, that's what I don't understand. Like, I feel like it's nitpicking. Like, the whole context was we got fucking played by the end of it. It's not, oh, well, what's the Veil? That's the context. I didn't feel like that was just kind of part of it. And it's going to be explained more like within the lore. And trust me, we have all kinds of content creators that make sure that they'll make sure to have the entire story straight. Especially when it comes to the lore, it will be within the lore pages. So, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's the context was so confusing, everybody went this way, and I'm like over here like, guys, over this way. Like, look, we got played. He played us so hard. It was bad. And we fell for it every step of the way. Like, okay, like I started getting that feeling when the witness took control of our ghosts for the first time. And he was talking to Callus, you know, for the first time. Well, not for the first time, but there was an interaction, and so he was able to take control of our ghost somehow, which that would be very interesting to learn how that worked out. But the only narrative that people are really stuck up on would be the Veil. Like, okay. I mean, yeah, it's basically the tool, but I didn't catch that context as that's the main thing that they wanted you to focus on. But what the hell do I know? I don't know anything. Remember when new maps and modes were standard in a $40 expansion? Now we're out here paying $50 for a story, one raid, one strike, and a few exotics. Yay! You know, I kind of find comments like that very funny. You know, they talk about how Bungie is so predatory. You know, we're getting so little and we're paying so much more. How is it that only when it comes to video games, people are willing to still keep coming back? Like, if you put that in any other terms, you go to your favorite restaurant that you've been getting this certain amount of food, and all of a sudden now you're paying twice as much, or you're paying $10 more for that same meal and you're getting less for it. Are you still going to go to that same fucking restaurant? Maybe a few more times, but eventually you're going to be like, it's shit's too expensive. I'm sorry, I can't do it. It's like, I don't get it. If you feel like it's so predatory and you're just not getting your money's worth, then speak with your wallet. Let Bungie know if that's what your problem is. Stop throwing this narrative out that, oh my god, you're having to pay more, but I'm going to keep playing. If it's that bad, stop. Let Bungie know. But you see, you get that one person that only says it, and they don't want to be the only one person to just up and quit, because nobody else is going to do it with them. So he's got to have, he or she or whoever, you know, they want to be able to go on and be able to, you know, be able to have a whole army of people to leave at the same fucking time. I guess that's the only way to be able to actually say that that's what the case is. It's like, geez, yeah, shit's getting more expensive because everything else is getting more expensive. It's called inflation. It's gonna happen. I mean, if you really think about it, if I remember correctly, based on the inflation and what we're paying right now is basically what we were paying before. It's kind of still the same thing. But I guess if you boil it down to, oh, well, we only get 4 things, but we still, like, you know, they're talking about, oh, well, we didn't get this one particular thing, or these 2 other things that we were supposed to get. To everyone saying Gambit has it even worse, believe me, I wholeheartedly agree with you. I was a diehard Gambit main for a significant amount of time. So I want nothing more to see than see it get the love it deserves. Unfortunately, due to the complete lack of attention from Bungie, show more. I think Gambit is a lost cause. Break my heart. Yeah, I noticed. Yeah, Bungie really. Whew. Yeah, they definitely have been completely ignoring Gambit. I mean, I can't argue with that. Like, there's no arguing with that. They right. Poor Gambit. And what's funny, what's sad is, like, I used to play the shit out of some Gambit now. I loved Gambit. When it first came out, I fell in love. I was like, this is the coolest fucking shit I've ever seen. So the intro for the review, this was fun, and now I'm wondering how valuable something like this would be as a series of shorts. Yeah. People dressing up funny. Yeah, they like make their guardian look like craziness. You know what? I think I might actually take that clip. Might try to take my guardian in and get them all nicely dressed up for that scene, because that's dope. And make something out of it, like an intro. Maybe that'll be my new intro. That'd be dope. Oh, See, Destiny matchmaking kills this game for me. 4 stack sweating and quick play, and it's par for the course. Can't try new weapons, or this is what happens. Well, okay. When it comes to PvP, let's work this out, okay? You know, people talk about, oh, well, this is killing PvP now. This is all of a sudden now, it's all killing PvP. PvP is dying, or it's just shit. We can't do it. Okay, so PvP has always been sweaty. I mean, I can't even think of a time where I could just go in and just casually kill other players. Like, what? I mean, not even in the when I used to play Call of Duty was there ever like, oh yeah, da 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 da, boom boom, yay, thank you for letting me kill you, da, 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 da. Are you fucking kidding me? Are you out of your mind? Like, seriously, that has never been a thing where people are just casually just going in trying new things out, you know. PvP has always been sweaty, like always. Maybe you just haven't been, or you haven't been matched with, you know, you haven't been matched with lower tier players as much, so you're going up against people that are more at your level. But at the same time, you can't really base an environment like PvP in Destiny from a content creator or a streamer. Like, for real. As soon as somebody recognizes that name and they say, oh, it's Frostbolt, I'm gonna go as hard as fucking possible so I can kill him at least once, so I can go brag to my buddies and let them know that I killed him, or whoever else that decides to play PvP. Any other of the content creators that's in there. And I'm pretty sure you just can't use that because people are gonna sweat their balls off to be able to kill you because you're the big time streamer. Of course, that's not a fucking shocker. Now you could, so you have that. So there's more things moving around here than just, oh, well, I'm just being met and I can't just casually kill people with new weapons and loadouts. I can't just casually have fun. Which, okay. So here's my idea when it comes to PvP. And maybe this will help. Maybe I won't. So everybody is trying to, that's when it comes to the PvP portion of the community, they want basically Destiny 2 as an esports level game. They may say, no, I don't want that. Yeah, you do. That's what you want. You wanted to have esports level, right? So here's an idea. Take Trials. Trials is supposed to be for more challenging, more for the higher end players. You go for the casuals, or, you know, where you just kind of mess around, having fun. You know, I guess you could kill people casually. You're skipping around and shit. Okay, so you're doing that. But in Trials, gunplay. That's it. That is completely it. Only gun. Basically gun game. Not even gun game. Just weapons. You strip away the supers and strip away the fucking abilities. And just keep it gunplay for the Trials. Problem solved. Now you have yourself a low Call of Duty. You have Call of Duty within Destiny. I think that's a hell of an idea. Keep it at that. Just make it gunplay. Whenever you go into the higher tier stuff, you know, when you go into Trials, or if you want to go into comp, Trials and comp should be gunplay, and then casuals for the casual play where you could try your loadouts and stuff. Make it where that's where, you know, It's all supers, ability spamming, all that. But even then, people complain about that. It's like, oh my god, I can't even casually play because there are all these grenades being thrown around. It's like, okay. Like, seriously. I mean, that is, like, as far as I can remember, PvP has always been a sweat fest. Okay? Even when, like, if I go in solo, yeah, I'll pop off every once in a while, but, you know, I'll try to do my best to be like, all right, I'm gonna, like, hunker down and try to get better. But, you know, if I go solo. Now, if I'm going with the boys, yeah, we're going to get sweaty as fuck if we come up against another clan, especially if it's like, if we got 6 and they got 6. Oh, it's on. It's a war. We're about to go to war here in like 2 seconds. As soon as we drop in, we're going to war. And you know why? Because we want to find out who the hardest clan is, right? You know, just, even though you get nothing out of it, it's just bragging rights, I guess. But it's still fun, okay? But yeah, PvP has always been casual. At least that's the way it's always been Sweatfest, not casual. And you get certain people on here that just want to complain about it. They're like, oh my god, that's freaking Sweatfest. It's always been a Sweatfest. You're just being forced into lobbies, going up against people that are more at your level, and then they recognize your name. So that makes it even worse on you. So should we really scale everything to your liking? I mean, is it really working at all? You know, some people are like, well, if we just have more maps, you get 2 maps. Let's say Bungie throws 2 maps at you right now. You'll be bored with them in a week. You'll know all the points. You'll all know the lanes. You'll play the exact same way. Within a week, it'll be done. You'll be like, I could care less about this map now. We need more maps, Bungie. I've already used up these 2. We'll see if there's anything else I can rant about for a moment. Actually, where are we at on time? Okay. We're almost to an hour. Nice. Whew. All right. Okay, so anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, shut that down. I think we're gonna call it a night tonight because we're like 1 minute in. So by the time I'm done here, it'll be completely an hour. So anyways, I think that's going to do it for the rest of the night tonight. Lead Army, what's happening? You just showed up at the very end of the show. Now you show up. I'm just kidding. Appreciate you being here. I have high hopes for Destiny. Yeah, I agree. I think that a lot of things are going to make more sense once we get a little further down the season. You know, we're still within the first week. We haven't even hit the first actual reset within Lightfall or Season of Defiance. So maybe next week or tomorrow we'll be able to find out a little bit more of the story, and hopefully it'll make a little more sense. So but anyways, I do appreciate you showing up by the way. So but let's see. I just hope Bungie goes back to making good games. Well, you know, Destiny is a good game. What do you mean? Now, I would say that we're going to see, not saying Destiny is bad, of course. But I kind of wonder if they're going to make Destiny 3, to be honest. Is bad, but there's always a but. Always a but. But I see where you're coming from. That's cool. Alright, so Well, anyways, I am actually going to go ahead and head out for the night. It's been an hour. I think I've done enough of my ranting. Lead Army, if you like to, you know, start from the very beginning and, you know, kind of watch from the very beginning of the stream, you're more than welcome to do so. Halo, when they were in charge, was S tier. I would agree. I mean, I really did enjoy Halo, you know, back in the day. That's the reason why I think that's one of the biggest reasons why I got into Destiny so much, because, you know, I played Halo and Call of Duty, and then when I found out that Bungie and Activision got together and made Destiny, I fell in love. Shit, it was easy. But that was back during the D1 days. Ever since 343 has been handled, it fell off. Yeah, I hear a lot of people talking about that. People talking about how they've fallen off, and 343 is just, they have not handled it very well. And it would be kind of cool if Bungie would be able to take it back, you know, now that they have Sony kind of on their side. But I don't think that'll ever happen. I don't think Microsoft, that it's too established with Microsoft and Xbox. It's kind of one of those exclusives that you'll never see it. Sucks to see such a good franchise be another download on my Xbox. Yeah. And I find that the whole doom and gloom when it comes to the Destiny stuff, especially with Lightfall, I feel like, you know, everybody's trying to act like, oh, it's the end times. Here it is. This is really our end. Games do that, yeah. But all right, so anyways, I'm gonna head out. I will have a stream again tomorrow night. Call of Duty, people really enjoyed. Now look at it, yeah. And I'm one of those old COD heads, so I really did enjoy Call of Duty, especially back in the Black Ops 2 days. That was the shit. Loved it. Alright, so I'm going to get out, and until I see you Guardians again, y'all keep it classy.